What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you a very excited video. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. 2020 is almost coming to a close. Thank goodness, because this year has been an absolute roller coaster of just emotion, anger, sadness, but there are some bright spots in this year, and this is the start to the end of the year list videos, guys, and this is the first one. These are my quick movie reviews for the year 2020. These are for certain movies that I did see throughout the year 2020, but due to time and all that, I just didn't have the time to put a review out on my channel for them. And for this year, I have 8 movies to talk about here, and I'll give you my quick thoughts on each and every movie, give you a grade, and move on to the next one. It'll be a very short video. The first movie I'm going to be talking about is Unhinged. This movie came out around the summertime when movie theaters were starting to open up in certain locations, and this was the first movie to be released in theaters technically during the pandemic. The plot is very interesting. It's a road rage movie. Russell Crowe's character is absolutely insane. He follows around this girl just because this girl flipped off at him on the highway or the freeway, and so now he's chasing after her. And this concept really reminds me of Duel, Steven Spielberg's first movie. I think a lot of the chase sequences were a lot of fun, really intense, especially the final 10 minutes of the movie gets really gritty, full of blood. Russell Crowe is the best part of this movie, I will say. He really commits to this insane psychopath character, and I thought he just owned it in the action and just the performance. The other characters, the mother and the son, could care less about. The acting's not good most of the time, the script is a mess, and it just has a lot of plot points that are just beyond unsolvable. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Unhinged a C-. Peninsula is the sequel to 2016's groundbreaking zombie film, Train to Busan. I saw that movie for the first time most recently and absolutely loved that movie. I thought it was a masterpiece, one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. And the sequel to Peninsula was announced, and I didn't get to see this one as well when it came out because it wasn't in my access, so I finally watched it on demand. And I gotta say, what a letdown of a sequel this was. I didn't see a point to this sequel. I didn't see a point to making a sequel to Train to Busan, because that movie wrapped up flawlessly with the father and her daughter, just everything the father did in that movie, and now we have the sequel. We're following new characters around, trying to get this mother's daughters to safety, this new guy I didn't care about. If I don't care about a single lead character in the film, that's bad. And I really could care less about the characters in the film, and I kind of wanted the zombies to win, and that's an honest truth. At least in Train to Busan, you had such excellent characters you can root for. The father having a great arc. There's no arc really to any of these characters. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Peninsula a C. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is a Netflix movie that came out a few months ago, directed by Charlie Kaufman, the Academy Award-winning screenwriter for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. As you guys know, I don't love that movie as much as everybody else, and it's a hot take of mine. So I had to check this movie out since it was getting divisive opinions left, right, and center. I actually didn't hate the movie. I thought it was solid in what it was going for. Some great acting performances and an interesting story. An ending that definitely polarized everybody. So what was my take on the ending? I absolutely understood what was happening, but the execution didn't land the plane landing for me. I thought Charlie Kaufman had some great ideas thrown in there. Jesse Plemons, his character was very interesting. All these characters, the mother, Toni Collette, love her as an actress. David Thewlis, love him from Harry Potter. It's got a lot of Charlie Kaufman isms, a lot of Eternal Sunshine isms in there. Some really dull moments. The runtime I thought was too long, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And the ending to the movie reminded me a lot of A Beautiful Mind, just a lot of underwhelming parts, but the first 2 acts were really solid. So with that being said, I'm going to give I'm Thinking of Ending Things a B-. My name is Adam Sandler, and we're talking about Hubie Halloween, my Netflix movie after Uncut Gems. Sorry, that was my awful Hubie impression, but Hubie Halloween, this was one of the big movies you guys were asking my thoughts on. Didn't get to check this out on Halloween, surprisingly. Now we're talking about it on Christmas time. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still a bad movie all around. And it's Adam Sandler. I think he gives like a really enjoyably bad performance in here. I wish he could get like an Oscar nomination. I'm just kidding. Adam Sandler is Adam Sandler in here, but he's not like Jack and Chill bad. He's just what he is. He's the punching bag. Everybody doesn't like him. He has to earn their respect. And Adam Sandler is really goofy in this film, and it gets a pass from me because he did Uncut Gems. Come on. A really forced romance with Adam Sandler and this girl he had a crush on. Kevin James is a cop. And just other characters, Rob Schneider, Steve Buscemi. The typical Happy Madison crew comes along. And it's not one of the worst Happy Madison movies, but I think this movie is just a guilty pleasure at best. So I'm going to give Hubie Halloween a D+. Cuties. This was the #1 film you guys have been demanding my thoughts on. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you guys. Cuties is an absolute nightmare. I'm just baffled of why they even made this movie. It is offensive, it is disgusting, and it's just not inspiring at all. Many people are saying this is very uplifting and young girls becoming what they want to be. That is horseshit. This movie should not have been made. Worst film I have seen this year, should not have been made. Cuties gets a 0F. Hillbilly Elegy, another Netflix movie directed by Ron Howard, an Oscar contending type of film. Amy Adams, Glenn Close, based on a true story about this son growing up in an awful white trash family in the southern neighborhood of Kentucky. Hillbilly Elegy, I thought, was fine for most parts. I didn't hate this movie like a lot of people did. It's got a really low score on Rotten Tomatoes. Amy Adams, I will be shocked if she doesn't get nominated in here. She plays this absolutely whitewashed mother. She's a child abuser. She is a drunk alcoholic as well as a drug user. And she goes absolutely berserk in a lot of scenes in here. And a lot of people complain that, is this fictional? Is this too much for cinema? And is this just too Oscar baity? But I thought Amy Adams really delivered in here. But Glenn Close might have stolen this whole film for me. She has these really great scenes with her grandson in here, the lead character, JD. And I will be shocked if Glenn Close doesn't win supporting actress. But the other characters, no. JD, both versions are really dull. Like, I wanted to learn more about the JD character, and I just couldn't get behind his character in a lot of sequences. The sister as well. I think she's a great actress. Wanted to get more involved with her. And the flashbacks made no sense a lot of times, and the whole story was just really jumbled. So I'm going to give Hillbilly Elegy a C. Spree released at Sundance Film Festival earlier this year, and it stars Joe Keery from Stranger Things, and he's the spree driver that wants to become famous on social media, and he films himself live picking up passengers, dropping them off, but instead, to go viral, he's got some killing in his spirit. I thought this movie was a blast. Definitely my favorite out of these new movies I watched. Really love Joe Keery. His charisma, his awkwardness and attitude in here. He's like Christian Bale, Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, mixed with Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler, Louis Bloom, all into this normal kid. Everybody's been talking and making comparisons to American Psycho, and it definitely is. This movie has a lot of murder, blood, and just awkwardness thrown into one. And it has a character you fully root for and understand. He just wants to go viral on social media. He wants to be famous, and he's doing anything possible. A lot of bad shit, you can't root for him again. But it's just a fun concept. If you haven't seen Spree, definitely check it out on demand. And I'm going to give this movie a B+. I really enjoyed this film. And the last film we're going to be talking about is Emma. This movie released as well on demand during the pandemic. It was starting out, and it stars Anya Taylor-Joy, and it's a new period piece film. It's a comedy mixed with a drama, and I actually really enjoyed this film. And this is coming from a guy who's not been a fan of the recent period piece films that came out the past few years. So this film reminded me a lot of The Favorite, but a lot more great comedy thrown into there. And Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress. I freaking love Anya Taylor-Joy, everything she showed up in, especially New Mutants. I really enjoyed her in that. And in here, she's just a really lovable, quirky kind of character. And her character stole the whole show for me. It also has great performances from Johnny Flynn and Josh O'Connor. I thought there were good additions in here as well. And my biggest fear going in was that it's a period piece film. I'm not into this genre. Wasn't a fan of The Favorite. I thought it would be a lot like that. But no, it's a lot different than that. Just a lot of great comedy thrown into there that I really enjoyed. However, the ending didn't stick the landing for me fully. Like, the whole first two acts were so interesting and funny, and then it started to lose the funniness and the pacing it was going for in the final act. I wish the ending would have been better, but still, this movie is hilarious, it's funny, got good drama in there. Anya Taylor-Joy is a sensation, and I'm going to give Emma a B. Just want to give you a quick update, guys. The end of the year is coming, which means the 2000s, what's the best movie of the 2000s decade tournament is coming. I'm spreading the word now. It's me, myself, Alex Madden, Hannah from Cinemania World, Amy from the Movie Checklist, and Patrick Burrow. We will be live discussing our thoughts on the 2000s movies and which one we think is the best of the 2000s decade. Spread the word. It's coming, guys. Don't want to miss it. Thank you guys as always for watching the quick movie reviews for 2020. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.